What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video I want to address something that I think is really important right now. It's a question I'm getting constantly, and that is, why are meme coins ripping and XRP is just sitting still? In this video I want to show you exactly why that's happening, and also go over exactly where XRP is going to go over the long term and why I have such little FOMO in the market right now. Guys, I think this is so important to understand, and I think you're going to walk away from this video with a much better understanding of exactly what's going on in the market right now. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and is subscribed to the channel. We are super close to 50K subscribers, so I'd really appreciate your support. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it right after a quick word from the sponsor of this video. So I want to start out this video and talk about something that I think is really important to understand. Right now, a lot of the market is still driven by retail speculation. We see meme coins popping off left and right, going up exponentially, but it's being driven by retail traders, right? It's being driven by retail holders who are unsophisticated investors. Over the long term, I think we all know where this market goes. This market heads towards utility. This market heads towards different cryptocurrency networks and cryptocurrencies that are actually making a difference in the financial system. And this isn't just speculation, right? We've seen this play out before. If you take a look at the dot-com bubble, right? A lot of the speculative companies in the dot-com bubble era pumped super hard. Things like pets.com, and actually outperformed things like Amazon, Google, and all those other big tech companies. But was pets.com, were these highly speculative companies necessarily the winners of the dot-com era? No, not really. What was really happening was retail was getting really excited about the innovation, but couldn't really comprehend how to invest in it. They didn't understand the internet. They didn't understand these business models. They were just picking random things that they thought looked cool. Now, that didn't mean that the Googles, the Amazons, the Apples were the bad investments. In fact, those were the investments the big institutions were building their positions in the entire time. Those were the positions that the big institutions, right, were getting ready to invest in. They just wanted to see a little more. They wanted to make sure everything was fully established before they went YOLOing in. But at the end of the day, the thing we learned was that the highly speculative companies that pumped the hardest, that pumped first, weren't necessarily the winners. In fact, in many times they were the losers. I think what a lot of people don't understand about the market right now is that the big institutions, right, are still waiting for everything to come together. Right now, we see the CFTC actively working to push forward regulations for the cryptocurrency market. Don't get me wrong, this is a huge step forward, a massive step forward in putting forth cryptocurrency guidelines to allow the innovation to prosper in the United States. But this shows us we are still in a pre-2000 era if we were applying the dot-com bubble to cryptocurrencies. We don't even have rules and regulations yet. So it's really hard for the big money to actively deploy a lot of capital investing into these projects when it's still so speculative in their eyes. Now, these rules and regulations have not stopped retail, and that's why retail has been pouring into the meme coins, been pouring into the projects, right, that they think look cool, that they think are going to pump the hardest, but don't necessarily have that long-term viability, don't have that real-world utility. Now, if your goal is just to chase the next pump, if your goal is to make a quick 10x and get out, look, obviously there's real opportunity in the meme coins, but that's not really what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for long-term price appreciation and price that's going to be sustainable, long-term gains that don't diminish rapidly and crash 90 to 80%. Take a look at Apple, take a look at Amazon. People who hold these stocks, right, who have held these stocks for the past 10 to 15 years, right, they weren't trading them. They weren't flipping in and out of pets.com and buying more shares of Amazon and then selling, right? Most of these people say, oh, I just bought it during that whole era, held it, and haven't touched it since. That's what I'm looking to do with XRP because strategically and statistically, it's really the best strategy out there. Anyone would tell you who has been a traditional financial investor that long-term holding, right, dollar cost averaging, these are the keys to really generating wealth. So I think what a lot of people are getting caught up in is the mania right now. All these different meme coins pumping super hard and thinking, okay, if I don't get into one of these things, I'm going to miss out. But the thing that I think is so important to stress is history tells us that these are not going to be the winners over the long term. The winners over the long term are going to be the projects with real world utility. I saw this earlier today, and I think this gives you a really good idea of what long-term utility, real world utility actually is. This is Volante. It's a company working with FedNow, and Volante uses Ripple and XRP as some of the rails for their payment services. So what we're seeing, right, is Volante is a company working with the most important payment system on earth, or going to be one of the most important payment systems on earth, FedNow, who's actively using Ripple and XRP as their rails, right? That's long-term utility. That's not some kind of speculative pump. This is the rails of the next financial system being built. This was Amazon building out their website, building out their entire way of moving goods from point A to point B. This was Google building out their server farms. This was Apple building out their preliminary plans of their iPhones in the early days. Now, this wasn't the stuff generating all kinds of hype, generating the pump, but these were the kind of things that created the long-term value, the long-term price appreciation. And I think a lot of people are looking for the market to be in a place it's not today. People want this long-term value to already be happening. People want the market to be realizing what is being built behind the scenes. But the fact of the matter is it hasn't done that yet. But we are so close to that occurring. As rules and regulations come in, as these different companies are able to build out their business models in the United States and really capture the most important financial system on earth, we are going to see the projects with utility really taking off. And companies like Ripple and digital assets like XRP have had the right strategy since day one. But I want people to understand, just because it's not pumping first, just because it's not the first thing to move, doesn't mean over the long term it's not going to be the bigger winner. I want to show you a couple charts right now, really just to break down also why nothing I have seen is even remotely concerning. And one of the most important charts, I think, and it's so simple, is just XRP against Bitcoin. Guys, as you can see, every single time Bitcoin broke out to a new all-time high, right, XRP lagged behind. Right here, we can see Bitcoin was at a new all-time high and XRP still hadn't moved yet. And if you take a look right here also, right, Bitcoin was creating all-time new highs and XRP hasn't moved yet. So what we see consistently is Bitcoin moves first, right? And then XRP follows. Nothing looks any different from those times to now. Bitcoin is moving first and it looks like XRP is about to follow. In my eyes, what I am seeing is making me more optimistic and more bullish than I have been on this market for an extremely long time, right? The idea that Bitcoin is pushing to all-time new highs all but confirms XRP is right around the corner from a huge breakout. Now, what we have seen typically is Bitcoin kind of ignites the market. Bitcoin gets everyone excited again, and that's when retail starts taking off and buying all the meme coins, buying all these different things. But ultimately, the smart, sophisticated investors understand that that's not what's going to be around over the long term. What's going to be around over the long term is the projects building real world applications that are going to have staying power in the financial system. And XRP is one of those projects. So eventually, every single time the money goes into XRP, and many times this money actually causes XRP to outperform something like Bitcoin. What we're watching in the market right now is nothing more than retail hype, retail speculation, but eventually that is going to end and long-term utility, real-world projects are going to take over. What we've seen over the past couple months is XRP's fundamentals have never looked better. Massive partnerships with central banks, automated market makers coming, clawbacks, all these different utilities that make XRP exponentially more useful than it was prior. We are watching the developer community flourish, all while Bitcoin, something that XRP always follows in every single bull market, is breaking out to new all-time highs. The fundamental increases in XRP let us know that XRP is trending upward on the fundamental side. Bitcoin's price going parabolic lets us know that XRP's price, right, is likely relatively close to making the same exponential move upward. Everything we are seeing is lining up perfectly for XRP to perform as utility rolls in. I just want to make this so clear. I see every single day people getting so focused focused on the short-term price action. People getting so whipped up around what's happening on a day-to-day basis. But what we understand is that's not what matters. XRP has been trading sideways essentially in this range for a couple years now. Guys, that's just what XRP does. It's what it always has done. And getting too focused on any tiny move within this massive triangle is kind of just a fool's errand. Eventually, XRP will break out. It will make its big move. And the fact of the matter is the fact that we've been trading sideways so long, the fact that nothing has happened in such a long time period just makes it more likely that we are so much closer to that big exponential move. Guys, XRP is going to break out, and it is going to hit the $5 to $10 range as Bitcoin pushes towards 100K. These are things we know historically has happened over and over again, but historically, XRP has always lagged also. It is silly to expect anything different this time, and it's silly to expect retail people who don't understand these markets and are trading meme coins to be trading XRP. The big institutions, the big sophisticated investors get it. They understand XRP has the long-term staying power, but expecting the irrational market to understand these rational thoughts is something you should not wrap your mind space around. It's something you should not be focused around because it's never going to happen. Long-term trends tells us that utility wins. Trying to focus on these short-term hype narratives and applying it to long-term investment strategies is never going to work. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps you understand that we are still positioned absolutely perfectly for one of the biggest bull markets led by institutions we've ever seen. We know what cryptocurrency is more institutionally focused than any of them is XRP. I've never been more confident on where we sit. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.